Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is a Black Manga Critic. We are here for that One Piece greatness, y'all. All right, that One Piece greatness. Okay, let's get into it. We had to do weekly Shonen Jump Mondays yet again. It's good to be back on this Memorial Day. Okay, I had all the barbecue stuff, all the stuff. Yeah, I did that yesterday. All right, I did that yesterday. Got some cleaning done. It always feels good to just like be in your place, clean living room, clean, like it's awesome. It's awesome. All right, so we gonna get into that One Piece, okay? I'm back to doing One Piece reactions, obviously. Again, some people are like, he's just gonna take off One Piece. He just dropped One Piece, period. I'm like, no, that's not what happened. What happened was I said I did not like where Whole Cake Island was going. I still don't particularly like Whole Cake Island on that arc. So I said I'm gonna stop until it's over. Then once it's over, I'm gonna read the chapters, see how I feel about it, and then I move on. You know what I mean? That's what I did. So let's get into 905, y'all, because I've been hearing things. There's certain things like obviously, like I know about the Admiral. I know. All right, because it's extremely difficult not to get spoiled, right? If you are a YouTuber, it's very hard not to get spoiled, and to make content at the same time. You know what I mean? If you're like sub to people and everything like that, they're putting out thumbnails on their video about exactly what happened. And it's just like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. It's very difficult to like, say, hey, stop like, trying to like bring traffic to your channel or whatever. Especially if that's your like kind of like main source of income or a big like large chunk of your income, and then it's difficult. Let's get into the chapter though. I don't want to talk about that for too long. Okay, One Piece chapter 905. I'm just hyped to get to the Neverland stuff and Food Wars and all that. I'm gonna start off with One Piece, Food Wars, and The Promised Neverland because I'm caught up on those things, and then I'm gonna get to some other stuff. Right, I'm gonna catch up to My Hero today. Dr. Stone I have to catch up to. Black Clover I have to catch up to. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on My Hero, One Piece, Food Wars, and Promised Neverland today, and then maybe like throughout the week I'll try to like read Black Clover and Dr. Stone and catch up on those manga. I should be able to. So I think that's gonna be sort of the focus moving forward. And there's some other manga that have been out, some new manga that people really like. So I'm gonna try to get into that. We'll see what happens. All right, let's do this. Yo, Shugam, what's up? I gotta get back to the other manga that like readathons that I've started and I want to finish. I have to get back to so many manga, and I gotta figure out like timing and scheduling and everything like that, and work. Ugh. So it's hard because I want to read all these other manga, but it's like I really got to figure out how much time I'll have for that. And I think what's going to generally happen is certain reactions will be shorter. Like I might just make them like 5 chapters for a certain manga, like the shorter manga, like Yona and stuff like that. And then when it comes to like Kingdom, like that's just going to be on a Saturday or a Sunday, and then that has to be longer because I have to catch up, and I won't feasibly take it up. I'm catch up if I'm just like reading 5 chapters for Kingdom or something like that, right? So I got to figure that stuff out. I really do. Life is good, but it's also like busy. You know what I mean? So I figure that stuff out. All right. Okay, so let's get into it. 905 is on page 26. Okay. Title of chapter 905 is What a Beautiful World. The saga of the self-proclaimed Straw Hat Fleet, Orlumbus, the pirate life, 6 a.m., folding pajamas. Okay, I mean, maybe there's supposed to be some stuff in this that we're supposed to be looking for or whatever. I'm not particularly interested in this stuff necessarily, unless it's like super clear. Let's see, though. Let's see what's going on. Paramount War. There's like a Dadoon. New Marine Fort. Okay, so like, yeah. The Paramount War 2 years ago, a battle between Navy headquarters and the Whitebeard pirates ended in a naval victory, but the damage it did to Marineford in the process was utterly catastrophic. The base had long served as the heart of the world's justice system, but in order to counteract the intensifying age of piracy, the world government decided to build a stronger fortress, a new stronghold of justice at the entrance to the New World. This is New Marineford, the Navy headquarters commanded by New Fleet Admiral Sakazuki. Old Marineford, okay. So there's like one side of the red line and then another side of the red line, and Old Marineford is on the other side. Like the side, like the entrances are still there, right? Then there's Marihoa that's like on the top of the red line, right? And okay, but you guys get it though. You guys, all y'all get it. While its location may have changed, Navy HQ continues to serve as a gateway to Marihoa, the Holy Land and home of the Celestial Dragons. All right, so we see Sakazuki, or Aikinu. Fujitora showed his face in Marihoa. I told him he wasn't to step into any military base until he brought me straw hat and law. What does that boy think he's doing, slinking back here? What? Yo, where did that come from? Yo, how is Fujitora? How old is Aikinu? Wow. Okay. Yes, sir. We're all aware. Then why didn't you kick him out? How you gonna kick out an admiral? Like, what are you gonna do? Well, sir, he was armed with infallible rhetorical weapons. Ha! We had no argument against them. If you ask me, this don't count as military grounds. Ha! He's just splitting hairs. That's not rhetoric. It's a brain teaser. Not so easy being fleet admiral, is it? It's Sengoku. You stay out of this, you half-retired pensioner. Who's gone to Marihoa then? Admiral Ryokugyu, sir. Okay, so that's like, we know that Green Bull is going to be introduced. Da 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 da. This is around the rear of Navy Base G1 on the Grand Line. The Mammoth Red Port here, along with its counterpart on the far side of the Red Line, acts as the government's route from the sea on one side of the wall to the other. Here, people are carried up to a sacred Marihoa on special bubble-based lifts. That's interesting. Called gondolas. Okay. Look, there are still more ships arriving. Make way. Royal party's coming through. Look, that's King Beer. King Beer. The sixth. From the Roshuan Kingdom. And the Mario Shishes. I guess it's supposed to be something there, like funny names and stuff. And those guys are from Bollywood. Oh Lord, yo, dude, Oda's wild. It's King Hamburger, but why is he walking so slow? That's interesting. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I kind of see what Oda did there. I do. I kind of see what he did there. That's really interesting. Really interesting. Okay. But why is he walking so slow? My pace may be steady, but I never turn my back. Eek. Get out of here. And look at Queen Moloron, or Moro. Yeah, I guess Mororon. From Tajine Kingdom. She's so gorgeous. A toast to all the eyes of the world. Eek. Let's not forget King Taco. Yeah. Oda's wild. Let's not forget King Taco. Oh no, why? Yo, Oda, why you do that? Why did you do that? That's so ridiculous, man. That's terrible. That's terrible. Let's not forget King Taco from the Kingdom of the Dead. Better to die standing than to live kneeling. Yo, that caricature is awful, man. Oh, and that ship over there. They're here at last. That's so trash, yo. That's so trash. It's the Mermaid Princess. The Knight of the Sea, King Neptune, Prince Fukaboshi. So this is the land. Mermaid Princess. She's so beautiful. Princess Shirahoshi. Oh, wow. And Garp's there, too. Okay, so he's guarding. He's like there, like, I guess, guard, I would say. Navy HQ Vice Admiral Monkey D. Garp, Luffy's grandfather. I thought I was going to die down there on the sea floor. In the 200 years that the Ryugu Kingdom has been part of the world government, this is only the second time it had attended the reverie. Wow. That alone made their presence noteworthy. Yeah, that's pretty wild, right? Like, we understand why and everything like that. What unfathomable beauty. She's beyond what the stories say. She would run a special. Should we run a special issue on her, boss? President Morgan, sir. Oh no, he Twitter paid it. That's too much. Why is Shirahoshi so popular, Garp? Up here, the public's imagination holds that the Mermaid Princess of Fishman Island is just as beautiful as the famed pirate empress Hancock. And with the look she's got, I'd say she even passes that bar. Ha ha ha. Plus, she's huge. Wah ha ha. Yo, Garp Wild. Sir, Luffy's grandfather, is that what is known on the surface as one of your famous forests? We call that a tree. Hey, Garp the hero. Do you know who I am? Yo, who's that stupid turd? Get him out of here. Let's go. Great Garp. Garp is a wonderful character. I really do love Garp. Like I do. Even with like the stupid like comment, like I love Garp. Like even with like the ridiculous stuff with Shirahoshi, Garp is that dude. Stupid turd. Did I mishear you? What insolence! It is a mistake, Stelly, isn't it? I am the king of your homeland of Goa, King Stelly. As you are my subject, that essentially makes you my servant as well. Keep that in mind. King of Goa Kingdom, East Blue, Sabo's foster brother. The king of Goa. For such a peaceful little place, it's produced some of the most wicked baddies around. Ignoring Garp, there's also Dragon, Sabo, Fire Fist, and Straw Hat. Fascinating. A King Stelly refresher. Hey, I don't even know refresher for this awful person. Goa Kingdom is the place where Luffy, Ace, and Sabo spent their childhood. Stelly was the younger adopted brother of Sabo's noble family. The ambitious Stelly married Princess East Toinette to get into the royal family and ascended to the throne a few months ago after the untimely death of the king and prince. Okay, well, move it. Your face is dumb. Yo, your insolence leaves me speechless. Yeah, he ain't do it. He didn't want none of that. He don't want none of that smoke. I'll be brief, Garp. Hand over your noble connections. I want to be a celestial dragon as soon as possible. You want to be one of those scumbags? Yo, Garp. Yo. Thank you, Garp. This stuff alone makes the chapter, like, pretty good. You know what I mean? Garp just, like, nah. What? Did anyone hear that? You could be put to death for saying that. Oh, right. That's a no-no. Forget I said it. He's terrifying. Are you all right, young man? Huh? It moved. Yo, get out of here, man. It moved? I thought that was a building. Is he a giant? The ones that eat people and dissolve rocks with their saliva? Yo, Stelly is trash. He is utter hot garbage. Utter hot garbage. No, wait. What are these things? Fangs? Scales? Look at the color of its skin. Are these the fishman creatures? The ones more fish than man? That spread diseases with a touch? Yo. Can someone please just like pick this man? Neptune, could you just pick this man up, throw him into a trash can, and then just like dump him on like a deserted island that no one knows about? But yeah, just throw him in a phantom zone. Just throw him in his own like, you know, pocket dimension and leave him there for the rest of all time. Such trash. Hey, don't touch me. And then he fainted. It's time for Bondola number 2 to take off. Well, you take care now. Thank you, Sir Luffy's grandfather. You made our travel most pleasant. Oh, we're so high. It's amazing. Wow. And then she sees, that's dope. What is it, Shirahoshi? Father, it is the sun. Brothers, see how bright and warm it shines? There's no limit to the sky above, and no limit to the sea beyond. Glittering in sunlight. That's a really dope picture. That would be great if that was color. If that was like a color page, that'd be super dope. It sure is a pretty sight, Mambo. I never knew the surface would be so beautiful, so wonderful. What a beautiful world. You're right. The light from the sun tree on the ocean floor is nothing compared to this. Father, if it can come true, I would like to live on the surface. I want to show everyone in our kingdom this world of the sun. Then we will ask, it is the reason for this reverie. Right, we gotta remember, yo. Like some of us, I think a lot of people do, and a lot of people like, for whatever reason, have less like pushed like Fishman Island to like the backs of like their minds because they thought it wasn't good. And I'm like, that's one of the better arcs in One Piece. Like it's very good. Sacred Mario. Sakazuki says he wants me to find you and kick you out. Shall we do battle then? Oh boy. No, thank you. I'd rather not. Besides, you're not going to destroy this meeting, are you? I might be crashing the meeting, but it's a system I actually mean to destroy. Mmm. Mmm. That was mighty tasty. Much obliged. You came a long way for this. How's old Vegapunk doing? Well, I may not be able to see it, but he's got quite a creation on his hands. Oh, meaning? There's no longer any need for the 7 warlords of the sea. Yo. Buddy, you're crazy. Heh, be that as it may, why don't you try the food? It's quite tasty here. Or are you still in the middle of your fast? Yo. There's a lot. There's a lot here. This is a good chapter. And I'll talk about a few things after the chapter. Well, if a pretty lady asked me to open wide, I suppose I'd chow down. And that's why I haven't had a bite for 3 darn years. Wow. Navy HQ Admiral Ryokugyu. They better show like his entire like visage and everything. I don't want to see no shadow garbage. That's trash to me. Oh, come on, that's trash. That's utter garbage. Just show the node. That's trash. The new Queendom. Or Kamabaka Queendom. Tell me, Koala, you're fighting the world government for the sake of the fishmen. Do you feel at all conflicted about the Ryukyu Kingdom taking part in the revelry? Not at all, Betty. Our true foe isn't actually the world government. It's the celestial dragons who control it. The red line. And that's also very important, right, to sort of like remember. The red line. Did you see that? You should make a lot of noise, King of Goa. I'm so scared. It's so high up. We're swaying in the wind. There was a giant peering out of the wall with a trident. You must be seeing things. Do you realize how high in the air we are? It was there, I swear. Now look over there. Crows. Those crows peck the bubbles. We'll plummet to our deaths. They don't usually fly this high. Ooh, these must be the famous birds. They're flying high. They're flying in the air. Guard, get your gun. Shoot them down before they pop out of bubbles. We are safe here. Crows have never popped the bubbles before. Please be at ease, King Stelly. Yo, Sabo already infiltrated. Let's go. Boom. Sabo infiltrated. That's dope. One Piece 905 end. So that was a good chapter. That was a good chapter. I'm gonna try not to rank them if I can help it. You know, like unless like a chapter is really, really bad or really, really good, I'm not gonna rank it. This is a decent chapter. I think there were a few things that were pretty important, of course. I would say the thing that I'm most interested in terms of the chapter, I'm not particularly concerned about the Naval HQ Admiral. I don't really care about that. What I do care about is like this whole thing with the 7 warlord system and everything like that. That's really important. Obviously, the Fishman stuff is dope. That's dope because that's one of like the biggest things for me in One Piece, like to see the Fishmen like, you know, be able to live like on the surface and have their own space and rule, and like that's I'm really looking forward to that. That's gonna be awesome. Rest in peace, Queen Otohime, of course. Shout out to Jinbei, son of the sea, of course, right? Shout out to Jinbei. Shout out to Shirahoshi, the brothers, Fukuboshi, like all the brothers, everything like that. Neptune, of course. But the whole stuff with Vegapunk, that's probably to me the most interesting thing about this chapter. The Admiral stuff I don't really care about that. I mean, I love like Garp, and like Garp is just like, thank you. He just did everything that like, as a reader, like, right, like he's like speaking for the reader at this point, because I don't know anybody that like is reading One Piece and is like, yo, the Celestial Dragons are so awesome. I love them. They're just fantastic. They're just great people. No, nobody reading One Piece is doing that, right? Unless you are a jerk. That's all that. Yeah. All right. So, but the Vegapunk stuff is really, really dope. I really think that's interesting. I think obviously it's probably like, you know, like a next level like pacifista. Most likely they're like pacifista that are that have like devil fruit capabilities, I would assume. Um that would be my best get right? Because the pacifistas in the past like had like Kizaru's like sort of like laser ability in terms of like just like shooting them. But you know, that was really important. And like obviously like they're like skin and like the like different type of metal and all and different capabilities and stuff like that. But I would say like my guess is that like uh they won't be called pacifista anymore. They'll be called something else. And they'll be like, you know, enhanced pacifista that have devil fruit abilities. I think like if you're going to sort of like bring them, you know, up a level, they have to have like devil fruit abilities. I don't see like what else would, you know, either that or like, you know, the world government has like Germa, like, you know, has used like a mixture of like the lineage factor with the cyber technology with the devil fruit to create like this like ridiculous, um, uh, cyber hybrid that can use devil fruit abilities. That's the only thing I could think of, and it must be like pretty powerful devil fruit abilities. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how many of them there are. I don't think there are many of them. I think if anything, like there are probably like 7 of them, right? They'll be like the new like, you know, Shishibukai, but they'll be called something else too. Right. And then of course like that, like, and that's also one of the most important things, right? The fact that like when Fujitoda said what he said in the Dressrosa arc, like, you know, I think most of us took that seriously, and that was something that we knew was coming, and that would be something that would be talked about at the Reverie. We understood that the second he said that, right? We were like, yo, this was gonna be happening. And I'm glad that like that's something like he's like, yo, we gonna talk about this. I love that. Like that conviction is really important, because if it wasn't there, I'd be like, yo, come on, like let's go, let's get to it, let's get to the important stuff that we've been talking about as like, you know, One Piece community, and One Piece fans, One Piece readers for like years. You know what I mean? Let's get to that stuff. Let's go. The Reverie is here. Let's get it in. Like that's how I feel about the Vegapunk stuff. But the warlord system, right? Of course, that has like massive implications, particularly for the Kuja pirates, for Boa Hancock, right? For Buggy, for pirates that, you know, right, that have like certain like types of protection. Mihawk can defend himself. He doesn't really have like a kingdom or anything like that. He just kind of like, you know, travels around, does his thing, kind of a nomad in a lot of ways. I mean, he has his space, right? He has his place, but I think generally like he's usually like moving around, doing certain things, stuff like that. And I don't think it doesn't bother him nearly as much. I think, yeah, like, you know, it does to an extent in terms of, yeah, the government's going to come after you, da-da-da. But I think generally, Mihawk can defend himself, and like he'll be fine. You know, and other Shishibukai will also be fine. But I think because this is One Piece, and because Oda treats like women like characters in particular ways, I'm pretty sure that Boa Hancock and the Kuja pirates and that tribe are going to be targeted, you know, for like whatever reasons and stuff like that. And that's going to be like a big sort of thing that's happening. And I also believe that like they'll probably either you know, Oda will do like an awesome thing and have the Kuja pirates be able to defend themselves and everything like that, or Oda will just have them like, you know, have the island be like devastated or whatever, you know, like some like garbage. You know, so I don't expect much from Oda, and like where like women are concerned and characters and stuff like that. I don't expect much from Oda, like at this point. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna like complain about it, but again, I know a lot of people who don't expect much in that department, right? We've seen characters time and time again in this in the new world and everything like that, who are just like utter garbage characters who don't do much, and who are generally like regulated to you know, caricatures in like in a sort of negative way, you know. So you know that it is what it is. I've talked about this. I can talk about this more in other discussions, but that's just how I feel about that. Let me check out the chat, see who's here and everything. You know what I mean? Let's see what's going on. Yo, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, John Boy, Reptar, Shit Dank, Shugama, of course. What up? What up? What up, Batch? Yo, what's going on, DJ? Yo, yeah, the shadow's trash. I'm like, what's the point of that? And that to me is like remember when I was talking about Scooby snacks and like there's certain things that are used in a particular way. Like that, the shadow thing is like a Scooby snack to me because I'm like, you know, like yes, like he's a Navy admiral and he's important, blah blah blah. But the shadow to me is like we've already seen like a shadow. Like we don't need another shadow. Like what's the point of that? You know what I mean? You know. So to me, it's like that's like trash. That's like a Scooby snack. But the thing with Dr. Vegapunk isn't a Scooby snack because we understand like that's a bit of information that like is extremely important to the conversation that was going on with Green Bull and Fujitora. You know what I mean? Like that's different, right? Not everything that like Oda sort of like alludes to is like is trash or a Scooby snack, but some of them are. Remember like when he did the whole thing with Commander Snack and that didn't really go anywhere, and they reintroduced him, and I was like, for what? You know what I mean? That was a Scooby snack, right? It's like, you know, here's this thing that's kind of interesting, you know, but it's like he didn't show him why. What's the point of that? You know, and I'm looking forward to people defending that. Like, why do that? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's a waste of time. And I think you could have just shown his visions, and that would have been like huge. It would have made the chapter that much better. The speculations could have been more interesting. But now people are like, you know, projecting like now people have more of a reason to project their speculations on like this shadow, right? So that's kind of annoying. But I love like the past, like the whole thing with like making the Shishibukai like irrelevant and that going somewhere, and maybe sometime soon seeing that like right after the reverie. I would say that's why for me I said that would happen sooner rather than later, because I'm like, if the reverie is happening and you know the discussion is going to happen, like that discussion, like that decision should be made during the reverie. That shouldn't be something that's postponed for whatever reason, other than like, you know, a vote or something or whatever, like that the Shishibukai would be a part of. But I don't think that would happen because again, the Shishibukai are basically like, you know, given pardons, so those pardons can be just as, you know, very quickly taken away, you know, and stuff like that. So you know what it is. You know, now it's just like, oh, you know, certain things like work, but other things don't, you know? Yeah, it's right. It was like, you know, it was like he's introducing the saying, and I was like, okay, and then like nothing really came out of that. It's like that's trash to me, you know. So what else did I want to talk about? Yeah, I'm not even gonna rank a chapter. If I had to rank a chapter, I'd be like, I'd probably give it a 7. I'll probably give it a 7 because I think there were a few things that I actually really did enjoy. Garp just like, you know, making Stelly look like garbage, or even more garbage than he already was looking. The whole thing with the fishman and being able to see the sun, that was great. I think that was beautifully drawn. Sabo infiltrating, right? That's cool. We already kind of knew that already, so it's like, you know, it's like, but the fact that like he was kind of trolling Stelly, I thought that was dope. The whole thing with Vegapunk is really important. The fact that Sakazuki wasn't like, right, he wasn't making jokes. He was like, yo, like I said, this man cannot come into these places, you know. And it was funny. It was funny that he was like, yo, why is he here? And it's like, dude, like they don't respect you like that. You know what I mean? Like they don't not in the same way that they were that they respect Sengoku. You know, it's just like a different personality, different ways of doing things. I think if I don't know, no, I'm not gonna get to that. But you know, it's dope. Yeah, I mean, hopefully Green Bull is like young. I mean, I think it's interesting. Like, I want to know more about certain things about Green Bull, obviously. But I think the way that like the whole thing with the shadow is like corny to me. I don't like that. I don't think it's very good. It's not interesting. You know, yeah. I mean, they should have had Snack like fight someone, you know, like fight Sanji or something like that. That would have been interesting. But you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to complain that Sanji didn't like get a fight or something, because I'm not like a huge Sanji fan or anything like that. But I will say that it was kind of weird that like, you know, for that arc, like Sanji didn't get like particularly like important battles that like showed his prowess and everything like that. I thought that was a little weird. That didn't make a lot of sense to me either. How likely is it that Akainu, right? That's why I know I was saying it. I was saying like Akainu, but it was like Akainu. Also makes his way to the Reverie. I think it's pretty likely. Fujitora would make a phenomenal fleet admiral. I think that's kind of what people are. And that's what's sort of moving forward. Like I think Fujitora would be a fleet admiral. And I mean, and then in the future, Kobe would be an admiral. Obviously, I think the generally like that's where the story of One Piece is going. That like Kobe will like become an admiral, right? And the same way that Luffy will be like pirate king in some shape or form. You know, it might not be the way that we expect, but I think generally like Luffy will like attain that. You know, and Kobe will attain his dream as well, and everyone else will. You know, and maybe in ways that we don't expect, but I think generally those things will happen. But yeah, Fujitora being fleet admiral would be dope. Because he has a similar vibe, like in some ways to kind of like a Sengoku. You know, in terms of like he can be funny. You know, but he can be like dead serious when he needs to be. And he's not stupid. You know what I mean? It's not like he's like an idiot or he's like especially lazy or whatever. Like he's just like, you know, he's a kind of a fun-loving guy, but he also is very serious about certain things. And has like, you know, his own views on like how the government is organized and run and what things that need to be changed and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I think for the Reverie arc, they should be quite a few chapters. For me, like I was saying, like the Reverie should be like around the same size as like Zoe, and Zoe was like 20-something chapters. I want to say it was like what, like 20-something chapters. So that to me that would make sense. Like I think the Reverie should be like 20-something chapters. If the Reverie was like 20 to 25 chapters, I'd be happy with that. I think if it's anything less than that, I'd be kind of like disappointed, because I think there are so many things to talk about, and I feel like Oda has to flesh those things out. He can't just kind of be like, okay, like here's like a point that someone makes, and then you know someone just decides, oh, that's a great point. That's like vote on and then move on quickly. I'm like, no, like there's got to be like legitimate like discussion about these things, you know. And I feel like the arc should be like 20 to 25 chapters. That's how I feel about it. Because again, it would be really annoying. It'd be really annoying if like you had you know, the arc that really promises to be the most dense in terms of, you know, conversations, talk the political milieu of the One Piece world, and then for it to just be like, oh, it's gonna end in like, you know, 10 chapters or something. That'd be so trash to me. And it would just be like, yo, that like the writing could not be like to me, it couldn't be like super strong. You know what I mean? Like to off screen the Reverie would be like blasphemy to me. If that happened, I might actually have to stop reading One Piece like for like a solid like year. I might have to be like, okay, if he off screens the Reverie, I would legit stop reading One Piece for like a solid year. And again, y'all know me, that wouldn't be particularly hard. You know what I mean? Like I love One Piece, but like I read other manga. And there are other manga that I'm just as excited about, if not more excited about than One Piece. So it's not difficult for me to be like, all right, I'm not gonna read One Piece for a year. And I'll read other manga, you know, and I'll be happy with those things, and I'll work and I'll live my life and I'll do all these things. You know what I mean? So yeah. Do you think the whole Luffy's lifespan being shortened will have any real consequence, or is it just a placeholder for tension Oda uses? I think it will. It will have some sort of consequence. But no, actually, I don't think it will. Actually, I don't think I was gonna say I think it will, but the story would have to go for quite some time. You know, I don't. I think that was just kind of like, you know, it's whatever. It's a way to, you know, say, oh, like every time this person does this thing, you know, it wastes like a bit of their lifespan. You know, I think like there's you know, sort of like what like if any of you ever read and watched The Gray Man, it was like the stuff with like with Yukanda, right, in The Gray Man, and like that was like much more interesting because like when he used certain abilities and stuff like that had like a legitimate effect on him, like on his constitution and stuff like that. That made more sense, and it was the stakes were there, you know. But like when it comes to something like you know, Luffy losing 10 years, I'm like 10 years, that don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, what is he, 19 right now? Like 10 years don't mean nothing. You know, in the story, unless they have like this like massive time skip, you know, whatever. It don't mean much. You know, it'd be more interesting if it was like, oh, this will affect like your potential strength or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that be more interesting or whatever. I don't know, you know? So I think it's kind of like whatever, you know? Yeah, the Conda arc was okay. But again, like I do like I'm just making that comparison, you know, in terms of like when you know, sort of lifespan kind of stuff is like used in a different way, and it's much and it's actually like important to like the narrative and how it moves and stuff. And like this is more like I don't think that really affects the narrative at all. I think it's just like here's a shot and here's a shot or whatever. It's not, to me, it's like whatever. You know, maybe Oda does figure out some way to do that, but I'm like 10 years. Like I think that was right. It was like 10 years of like your lifespan or something like that. That's what I remember. You know, if it was more like 50 years, that'd be more interesting. You know what I mean? That'd be like, whoa, okay. I'll be looking around and be like, yo, like Luffy, when you gonna keel over? You know, I haven't watched A Place Further Than the Universe. I have to. There's so much I have to watch and read. Kingdom I'm on. Berserk I have not read, although I know a lot about it, just from like word of mouth and people talking about certain things. But I haven't read it, and I need to. But I think the hiatuses make me like really wary of it, although I should just because. But I think like I've gotten used to the hiatuses for Hunter x Hunter, so you know I can get used to the hiatuses for like Berserk. You know, the hiatuses for Hunter x Hunter don't really bother me because you know when Togashi comes back, he generally puts out like fire content, and I'm pretty sure the same is the same can be said for Mirua, I think it's or Miura, I guess is how you pronounce his name, the manga. So you know, is whatever it is. So you know, Haki. Yo, I can't. Heki is cool. I like Heki. I don't think he's a beast or anything like that. I think people like really like troll when they say that. But I do think that Heki is like, he's kind of like I'm trying to think of like a character that like I could compare him to. Heki's like that character. Heki's kind of like, I don't know. I guess I'd compare him to like Brook. Like Brook is super reliable in a way, but he's not like clearly he's not like the you know the Sanji, Zoro, Luffy trio or whatever. Like he's like a very reliable character to me, you know. But that's how I feel about it. Yeah, or Usopp too. And the first thing I thought of was Usopp. But no, but Heki is not like a scrub. Like Heki can actually fight and like do things and stuff like that. Like Usopp can, but it's like different. You know, Heki's like actually like a warrior, and he's not trash. You know what I mean? It's just like he's just not like on like this like otherworldly level that like you know Shin and Kyokai and other characters are, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? King of fundamentals. That's what I'm talking, right? It's like there's a difference, you know? Let me see. But yeah, let me see. The white bowl. Let's see, which one is he talking about? Oh, this one right here. Probably talking about this one right here. Yeah, it's dope. It's a dope bowl. I like it. I'm probably gonna end it here because I gotta read some other stuff, y'all. I gotta read World Trigger was dope, but that's been on hiatus for a while. Because the manga has been pretty sick, I believe. So I'm not expecting that to come back anytime soon. But World Trigger was dope. The manga was way better than the anime, I think. Even though I enjoyed the anime more or less, the manga is like very good to me. I really like it. I think it's severely underrated. It's not like incredible, but I think it's good. I think it's pretty good. And I think it is very underrated because a lot of people think it's trash and it's not. You know, so I'm gonna end it. Then you said don't end it. King of Readathon. No. I'm not ending the King of Readathon. I'm definitely gonna do this weekend. This weekend I couldn't really do it because like I had a lot of stuff to do, but I'm definitely gonna do. Anyway, we're still images. Yo. Oh. Kind of like Food Wars, I guess. You know, just like still images like for the anime. So I generally don't watch the Food Wars anime much. And the manga to me is like way better. I have not read any of these four. I haven't read Vagabond, haven't read Vinland Saga, haven't read Holy Land, haven't read Tokyo Ghoul. I need to. People have suggested these things to me so often, and I need to start doing readathons for them. But what I have to do is like kind of prepare for that. So because like I really want to make sure I have volumes and stuff. So I feel like I can get volumes for Vagabond and Vinland Saga and Tokyo Ghoul. I'm not sure about Holy Land. Like, are there like English translations for Holy Land? Let's see. Like, are there? That's the question that I have for y'all. If there are, then I can buy. I could probably buy them. But I don't know. I don't know. What anime from the season am I watching? Only really Megalobox. I want to watch Piano no Mori, but I try to make sure that when I'm watching these anime, like I watch them like I guess like legally or whatever. And generally, I don't watch a lot of anime. Like more recently, I used to watch a lot of anime. Now I don't watch as many because I read way more manga, and I can read manga way faster, and it just doesn't take as much time, and I don't have a lot of time like to spare. You know, yo, 20th Century Boys, y'all. 20th Century Boys is dope. All right, it's a wonderfully written manga. You know, I'm gonna talk about Megalobox in another stream. I'm gonna try to set up some sort of stream at some point, either this weekend or sometime this week. Like just on my feelings about Megalobox. Some people know how I feel about Megalobox. Some people don't. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want to start a discussion right now. But it's never gonna be like divided. It's definitely gonna divide some people. All right. I gotta read those. I'm gonna definitely start some readathons for like Berserk, Vinland Saga, Vagabond. You know what I mean? Yeah. We straight illegal here. You know? But yeah. I'm gonna get into those manga definitely. All right, I'm gonna end the stream here because I gotta get to a whole bunch of other stuff. All right, I gotta get to Food Wars, and then I gotta get to the Promised Neverland. So I'm gonna read Food Wars, see what's going on with that. Morgan's is a Kiss anime guy, probably. He probably is. Morgan probably is. Of course, Morgan's is like he know about that illegal stuff. Y'all know about that illegal stuff. All right, so I'm ending here. The One Piece chapter was like, could have been better. But you could always say it could have been you could have been better about some things. And that means more when it comes to certain chapters than it does others. This one I think was a decent chapter, right? Like to me, if I had to rank it again, I'd rank it a 6.5 or a 7, probably closer to a 7. I would say a 7 because like I think in terms of the enjoyment, I really did enjoy this chapter. But I think in terms of just like content and stuff like that, to me it was just a solid 7. There could have been things that could have been done better, obviously, but I'm not gonna like say, oh, this chapter was like a 4 or something like that, or whatever. It was a solid 7. All right, thank y'all for coming through. Shouts to all y'all that came through in the chat. Y'all dope. Okay. The only reason I keep doing this stuff and doing these reactions and like doing these initial thoughts and everything is because y'all come through to the live chat to discuss these things. Y'all come through to the streams. And it's all about that conversation. Like, I don't, I like reading, but like, again, one of the reasons why, like, when I was like, before I left my doctoral program, like the reason why I was there was like to have discussions about the stuff that I was reading, right? And have that be part of that like sort of community and stuff like that. So, it's always great to be able to have a sort of community to talk about, the things that you're reading, the ideas that you have about the stuff that you're reading. Otherwise, you just kind of like, you're just kind of sitting alone, like being hyped by yourself. And like, that's cool, like for a certain point in time, for a certain period of time. But after a certain point, you're kind of like, man, I want to talk to some people about manga, anime, and all those other things, and comics and all that other stuff. All right. So, yo, Hype Morgan is making me laugh, yo. All right. Yeah, the royal family stuff was kind of like whatever. Like it was just weird. Like there was that whole like caricature thing with King Taco. I was like, that's corny. Some of that stuff was just really corny. The whole Bollywood stuff and like hamburger and everything. I was like, even more corny. It's just whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end it. Thank y'all for coming through. Okay, I'm a black manga critic, y'all, and I'm out.